Does anyone have a question?
Hi, Stuart. This is Jan.
Yes,
Could you talk about discipline, self-discipline, and the role of self-discipline in our practice?
self-discipline, look, it all depends upon what you really need. And that's where you focus your attention. And that's what creates discipline, because without discipline, you never attain your goals. So if the need is to truly have a spiritual life, if the need is to truly develop a chakra system in yourself, if the need is to get closer and closer incrementally to a oneness with God or higher energy, that will create discipline. All the distractions just fall by the wayside because your need is so strong that it can just, go right through all of the distractions that might come. And without that kind of need, we are prey to distraction. Everything creates a lack of discipline. Everything makes us drift off, and we're always masters at blaming all these things for the reason why we're not happy, we're not open, there's no joy in our lives, there's no love in our lives. It's always the fault of external, realities. So, I mean, the answer to your question is very simple, it's just the need to grow spiritually. And as that hunger and that need gets deeper, the discipline just gets stronger and stronger because you are training yourself to use all your energy and all your consciousness, say in a meditation class, to get closer and closer to what I'm talking about. While you're working, depends on the job, the business, you're in. What if the need is to make money? Then while you're working, you focus on that need, you put energy into it, and you'll frankly see how distractions also fall by the wayside. If the need is to do whatever you do during your day in an extraordinary, highly conscious manner, then all of the interferences, the obstructions, they just go by the wayside. You can focus on what you need to do in your life, and you don't let external things get in the way. So the answer to the question of discipline really gets back to this. It's just how profoundly you need to have a spiritual life will tell you how profoundly you're willing to focus and discipline yourself inside to do it. Now, you don't sit and meditate 22 hours a day. We do it for an hour and a half, an hour, and hopefully you do it at home for at least a half hour during the day. And other people have classes that you can attend. And we do it, but it's not, compulsive, and doesn't take over our entire lives. But while we do it, understand there's no reason to allow distraction to interfere with the need to get to God. And doing that develops a conscious person. And then whatever you see outside yourself also becomes sacred. It also is a treasure, a gift, a teacher, thing I talk about all the time. But it all starts inside oneself. And that starts with the need to grow spiritually, which gives us the discipline to do it. Doesn't matter. Nothing else matters. The bombs going off in the world and the starvation, and, doesn't matter. The need to grow spiritually And eventually that will grow where you can connect with all these other things also and do your share of service in the world. Does anyone else have a question?
Thank you, Stuart.
You're welcome. I hope it's clear, without need, man, we're all in a lot of trouble without having some kind of profound need, especially to have a spiritual life. And look what goes on in our world. You understand? I mean, it's terrible what goes on. The wars, the fighting, the politics is like a zoo, There's people eating each other alive, tearing each other apart. And that's where their need is. Their need is to win a position of power, so everything else they rip apart that they think is interfering with it. And honestly, the only thing that really interferes with it is themselves, That's the only thing that really interferes with it. It's really extraordinary to me that these people running for office, they spent probably close to $2 billion trying to become president. $2 billion that could feed a ton of people, that could really help the human race, spent to satisfy their ego. I mean, it's unbelievable. When you think about it, it's truly an unbelievable thing. That money could do so much good in the world. Anyway, what's the difference? Does anyone, nothing I can do about it. They won't even try. Does anyone else have a question they would like to ask? And try and remember that, because we all have stuff that distracts us all the time. And we have to just remember our need to grow, a profound need to grow spiritually, which will, give us the strength and the discipline not to get distracted. We will focus on what we have to do in order to build an inner life. Does anyone else have a question? Okay, if there are no more questions, we'll have a class tomorrow evening. And I'm looking forward to seeing. God bless you all for being here, for asking questions, for sitting here for 45 minutes, absorbing Shakti and energy. And whatever we do, it not only works on us, it helps everybody else sitting here to grow as well. So it's really a communal thing here. And I think that's something pretty wonderful, that we can contribute to the growth of other human beings by working very deeply on ourselves. So thank you and bless you. And I'm looking forward to seeing everybody. There'll be class tomorrow evening.
Night, Stuart. Thank you.
Good night. You're welcome.
Thank you, Stuart.
You're welcome.